This week I've been driving the 2023 Lexus ES. The ES is a mid-size executive sedan, originally released in 1989. This 2023 is a 7th generation. And unlike the rest of Lexus's lineup, the ES is a front-wheel drive car where all of the other sedans are rear-wheel drive. This is actually based on the Avalon platform. So the ES is offered in both a gas version and a hybrid version. We are looking at the hybrid version here, and that is offered in the 300H, the 300H Luxury, the Ultra Luxury, the F Sport design, and the F Sport handling. Our review car here is essentially the base 300H, so let's jump into it. All right, and let's start off with the design here. It does have a Lexus design, especially with that big spindle grille up front. It's a design that's been carried over in the ES since 2017, but has spanned Lexus's range for quite a while now. We do have the daytime running lights featuring the V-shaped LEDs, no fog lights on this vehicle, but overall a solid, sporty, and luxurious looking front end. Our wheels here are optioned up to 18-inch split 10-spoke alloy wheels. Base wheels on this are 17-inch wheels. We do have power folding side mirrors, which I really appreciate having here. Around the rear, LED tail lights. We've got that 300H badge, a little deck lid spoiler, and no visible exhaust, as this is the hybrid version. And while we're in the back, let's go ahead and look at the trunk. Being an executive sedan, trunk size is important. You do have a power lifting trunk, which can be lifted with a button here, a button on the key fob, or a swipe of the foot. And that swipe actually works well, unlike some other ones that I've done that I can never get open with the swipe of my foot. This one I haven't had any issues with. Cargo capacity, you're looking at 13.9 cubic feet of cargo volume. And while that's not massive, it's a good size for this mid-size sedan. But with that, let's go ahead and check out what's under the hood. All right, and under the hood, we have a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, obviously hybrid. It pushes a combined of 215 total horsepower and is matched up to an electronically controlled, continuously variable transmission. So in all the hybrids, you do get the same engine. In the gas versions, you do get a 3.5 fully gas engine. But we'll talk about how this thing drives and feels out on the road as we drive it. But first, let's take a look at the rear seats of this executive sedan. All right, here in the rear seats, we do have a ton of room. The ES is credited as having the most legroom for its class. If you look at this seat, it's very far back as the driver's seat, but that is pushed back because Lexus pushes it back when you turn the car off to make it easier for the driver to get out. This is more closely representative to where my driving position is. And we have a ton of knee room. I'm 6'1", a bit of a bigger guy, and I fit perfectly back here. Plenty of headroom. It's a little bit tight, but I got plenty. Again, plenty of knee room, plenty of foot room. You have your own AC vents back here, but not your own controls. You do have 2 USB power adapters and a 120-watt accessory port. You can fit adults 3 wide back here if you need to. 2 adults, perfect. You do have the pull-down armrest with some cup holders, a pass-through to the trunk, and quite frankly, again, nice place to be. All right, and here in the driver's seat, where you'll probably spend most of your time, it's a pretty nice interior. White leather, perforated leather, nice contrasting materials, black on the dash. Let me pick you up and give you a good tour around. And we'll start our tour with turning on the vehicle. It is a push button start. But of course, with it being a hybrid, you turn it on in EV mode. So you can see here on the instrument cluster that we are in EV mode. We've got a nice big, fairly new 12.3-inch touchscreen display up here. No longer do you get a weird controller touchpad down here. It is all touch screen. And of course, you get a lot of information about the energy flow if you're looking for that. And just a nice, clean, simply designed interface for all your functions here. Underneath that are all your AC and heat controls, which are only physical, no redundant screen up here. You have some of your radio and media controls, which are redundant. Lower down, you have your cooled seat, heated steering wheel, and for the passenger side as well. Your USB-A and USB-C connectors for your infotainment system. We do just have a traditional gear shifter here, no electronic gear shifter. Put it into reverse, you do have a backup camera. No 360 camera here. You've got a button for EV mode and then a large wireless charger here for your phone. Behind that is a nice soft armrest with a good console. 2 more USB Type-C charging ports here as well as an accessory charger. The steering wheel is nice and thick, nice and fat. It's not the F-Sport steering wheel, but it's still a little bit sporty feeling. You do have paddle shifters back here, as well as a slew of controls on the steering wheel. As you'd come to expect, controls on this side are mostly for your driver information display, and on this side are for your cruise settings. You do have your knob right here for your drive mode, so up is for sport, back is for eco, and you push in for your normal driving mode. We'll talk more about that as we take it for a drive. We have a traction control knob here. It's actually just a button that you push in. This does not twist, but I think you got to be in a pretty specific situation to turn off traction control with this vehicle. And for the most part, most of this interior is carried over, going back a ways. The big infotainment system is newer, but still not brand new in this vehicle. But overall, really nice interior, definitely comfortable and nice to be in. But let's go ahead and get this thing out on the road. We'll talk about the way that it drives. Then we'll wrap up the video talking about the price and some of my final thoughts. Let's get into it. First thing you can tell, super quiet. You do take off in EV mode unless the batteries in this thing are already too low. It doesn't have a large battery because it is just a hybrid, not even a plug-in hybrid. But you do stay in EV mode for quite a while, which really makes that fuel economy number really good in this thing, which we'll talk about in just a second. First, let's talk about the way that it handles. Again, it's not made to be a sporty vehicle. It's an executive sedan, so it's supposed to ride nice and comfortable. It does that for sure. It's nice and smooth. But handling wise, it's actually pretty good for a front wheel drive vehicle. Power out of the hybrid system, again, not amazing, but decent enough. Same story with the brakes here. The brakes are really good, but nothing special. You do have your drive mode, so you got that sport mode, the eco mode, and the normal mode. Quite frankly, I've left it in normal mode the entire week, but it's got decent enough power to, if you need to pass somebody on the highway, or overtake somebody, or getting up on a on-ramp or something like that. But doing what it's made to do, just being super comfortable and luxurious, it does that just fine. All right, and let's switch us into sport mode here. You do get a more sporty instrument cluster. It turns red. And our acceleration is definitely ramped up here. And it even sounds halfway decent. And I'm not going to test the 0 to 60 here. It's rated at 8.1 seconds, so obviously not amazing. But decent enough. Again, for what you're buying this vehicle for. Put it into eco mode. Obviously it deadens that power a bit, but you can still get it if you push. So fuel economy here is rated at 43 miles per gallon city, 44 highway, with a combined of 44. And most of the week we've been seeing in the 40s, which is really great. Right now it's saying 36.6 miles per gallon, but we've been pushing it a little bit more today as we're driving it and reviewing it. But honestly, those are some really good numbers, and in my experience, really accurate numbers. You do have safety features like radar guided cruise control, backup sensors, front sensors, the backup camera. You do have a lane warning system, so if you're getting out of lanes, it will warn you. It's not a driving assist feature, but it will warn you about getting out of the lanes. So again, a similar story to a lot of Lexus and Toyota vehicles that have been around for a while. You don't get a lot of great tech, but the tech that you do get in there work really well. All right, and with that, let's find a place to pull back over and we'll start wrapping this thing up. All right, so first off, the base MSRP for the base hybrid is $43,790. This one with a few options on it has a full MSRP of $49,580. So it's definitely a good starting point if you're looking to get into a Lexus vehicle that's not the IS, which is a lot smaller and a lot more cramped than this thing. If you're looking for a sporty vehicle, you can get this in the F Sport, but I would probably pass on that. For the most part, that thing felt just fine when I drove it a few years ago. But if you're looking for a sporty vehicle, there's a lot more sporty vehicles that are rear-wheel drive than this one. And of course, you can bump up that price by getting some of the higher trim levels, but this comes with a pretty good amount of luxuries and features. If you're looking for more, again, there are a lot of other options to choose from. But with that, let me jump out, give you some of my final thoughts, and we'll wrap this thing up. All right, and we're wrapping this thing up as the skies finally start clearing up a bit. What do we think about the Lexus ES? Well, if you're looking for a luxurious mid-size sedan that's gonna look the part, gonna feel the part, this definitely works out. It's a good driving vehicle. It's got pretty good amenities and luxuries packed inside, although with a lot of the competition out, it is feeling a bit old. But if you're looking for rock solidness, built to last, and really good fuel economy, this hybrid version here, it just does it. Personally, I think the Lexus design has run on a little bit too long for my liking. You can definitely tell it's a Lexus, but I would like to see them really change up their design at this point. But that wouldn't stop me from recommending it to somebody who is really interested in it for sure. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the ES in 2023. Let me know if there's any questions that I didn't answer in this video. We did go pretty quick. That being said, if you do like automotive reviews, please subscribe to the channel. We do a different review every week, sometimes multiple reviews a week. Also go check out txgarage.com where we do a lot of written reviews as well as event and news coverage from a lot of great authors over there. But with that, guys, thanks for watching.